Welcome back everybody to the last episode of the bathroom. I've been working, so Paul's been in and sort of sorted the electrics. We've got one down light and a switch. I've just been to suppliers, picked up another 4 lights. So the first job on the list is let's get some lighting going because it was pretty dim before. Was that enough? So we're having 2 lights there, one in the middle, 2 at the other end. It should be more than bright enough.
Right, let's cut this first one.
It's quick and easy. All I've got to do is get the plasterboard out of the drill bit. This one. Oh. Lovely. Wrist breaker there. Right, run the cables in the loft. So there's the original wire for the lighting. I've come off this one, gone down to the next light, and that will run along to this light here, and then that will go from there to that one and from there to that one. So let's get them connected together. I reckon it's going to be really bright. What do you reckon? Soon find out. So the light has got 6 terminals in it, and you put a wire in each one. So you've got 2 for the live, 2 for the neutral, 2 for the earth, and you click the thing down and it grips it. Come on, here we go. Now we're in. Push that down and that grips the wires, so there's no stress on the actual terminal, you know. And then bend those clips back, spring loaded. They sort of grip the other side of the plasterboard. Lovely. 2 to go. Right, I've turned the electric back on. It's time to test them. Hopefully they're not too bright. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Not too bright at all. Right, everyone. Another delivery. As you can see, towel roll. Let's get it open and see how good it is. Hopefully, better quality than the shower screen. Well, it can't be any worse. It's almost Christmas. Feels like I'm opening some presents. Do what the kids do with their Christmas cards. No, there's no money in there. So it's gonna hang about here. First up, I'm gonna fix the valves onto the bottom to make sure that I don't mount this too low. Obviously if I put it too low and then can't get the valves in, we're stuffed because we've got 4 holes where we don't want them. So right. Flipping over. Time to start drilling. I'm going to start it off with this, which is a diamond drill bit for tiles. Right, free time. Then switch to hand drill. Thank you. Whacking some wall plugs, raw plugs, depending on where you live. Just a quick note, but it's quite important. These raw plugs, you'll notice, they haven't got a collar on the end. A lot of raw plugs are like that, and they've got like a bigger collar bit at the back. Never use them for tiles. Always use the ones that are just straight. See, this has not got a, like, it looks like a wider bit on this end. Because what happens is, when you bang them in, like that, the collar sits flush. And then when you put the screw in it, it'll just crack the tile. So always use the ones that don't have a sort of flange on the end. If sit like that. Right. Oh, we're gonna fit. Lovely. Then you just fix it in place. There's a screw, one for each one. Last one on the top. That's fixed. Look at that. Solid. Don't go nowhere. Now that's fixed, our next job is to connect these 2 pipes to the bottom of that towel rail. If you remember, there used to be a radiator here where the wall was. So I've already previously, don't know if you remember, if you're from the UK when you was a kid, here's one I prepared earlier. Cut all these bolts, remember when I did the plumbing to run to that sink. So I need to get this, this one probably to there. Typically there's a joist right in the way, and then this one to that side, and then we should have a nice hot towel rail. Before we can cut any pipes, basically if I cut that, all the water from the hot water system is just going to pour straight out onto the floor. So I spoke to Pete, my friend who's a plumber, and he's given me some rubber bungs. So basically in the header tank you bung the bottom of it, and I've got one for the actual big supply tank as well. It's got some PTFE around it, but it's the same thing. Going to plug the outlets, and then you get a pipe coming up from the hot water system, central heating system, and it will go over into the top of the tank, but not actually underwater. That's an expansion pipe. In case the pressure builds up, it can just reload in there. So then what I'll do on that is get a stop end, block the end of the pipe, so in effect it makes a vacuum. And he assures me that when I cut this pipe, you won't get a lot of water. You get a little bit, but it's not going to drain all the radiators in the whole house and everything out through that pipe. So yeah, moment of truth. Let's go and find out if it works. Pete was right. Cheers, mate. So now I'm under the floor, I can just use these push fits, tighten them, lock them in. He can drop down there somewhere, doesn't matter how low, something like that. That is tight. You can go on there, we can go like that. Just need to tighten this one. That's the one. Just going to sit that in there. Mark that pipe roughly where we need to cut it and work from there. So we can sit in there like that now with that bend. And again, let's make a cut about there, and then we can go down underneath the joist, back up, saves making a hole in the joist. So we can slide it up there, push the olive up. That's us, we're pretty solid there. Another push fit. Set. We're well below any floorboards that are going to touch that anyway. And we're in. Everything's clear of everything. Now this side we can connect in. Going to come down at a diagonal and through this same, so both the pipes are under this one board. So the heating's on. I've opened both the valves at the bottom, so in theory water can circulate. However, this is full of air, so what we need to do now is bleed the air out of the radiator or towel to allow the water to fill up the whole thing. So if you've got a radiator at home and it's cold at the top, warm at the bottom, that's because it's got air in it and there's no water getting into this section because there's an air bubble. So normally you have a key on the end, like a little triangle thing. You can get a radiator key at any like DIY shop, and you turn it and you'll hear it hissing, all the air coming out, and eventually a bit of water will bubble out. Then you close it and the top of the rad will get hot. So your boiler's still pumping around, burning the gas, but just make sure in the winter all your radiators are bled. So this is what I was saying, this is a radiator key, it's got a little square opening and that just sits over the end of the little valve. And they're all standard, so just you can pick these up, I'll say in most places. And there you go, you can hear that? And that's the best way to warm your house without, you know, still spending the money on the gas like I was saying, but if you make sure the rads are all bled, you'll get the maximum amount of heat. See, that's getting hot up to here now. Slightly warm, cold, so it's slowly filling with water. Oh, there we go. See the water spitting out? All the air's gone. And just tighten the key back up. That's the towel rail fitted. At least I don't have to trip over them pipes on the floor anymore. Yeah, it's lovely and hot. Right, next job. We have got a vanity unit, sink and taps that have now all been delivered. That's what we've been waiting for. And wait till you see the sink that Dawn's bought. Over here by the shower screen, we're going to have a vanity unit with a sink and taps. And that's what we was waiting for. It was supposed to be next day delivery. That was about 2 weeks ago. So anyway, they came this morning. So we're all good. And wait till you see the sink that Dawn's chosen. Now the towel roll's installed. Our next job is this, which is a vanity unit, and the sink's going to sit on the top. I haven't even seen what it looks like. It's still sealed in the box. So let's check out what Dawn's ordered. Quite weighs a bit. So we're going to hang this on here. I've just got to measure for heights, get it centre, usual stuff. But before we do that, a job I've forgotten is the spotlights. As you can see, they're hanging down, so let's clip them in. I've painted the ceiling, filled it, obviously cut the holes. So let's get that done and dusted. Bend the springs back, like that. And then push the whole unit into the hole. And then the springs sort of open inside and pull it inside. If you ever want to change it, you can just grab it and pull it down. That's how easy they are to fit. It's so bright. Last one. Lovely. Let me know what you reckon. Better than the old smoky yellow one. Measured up off the floor, that's the height of this unit. Then there's a worktop to go on top, and then there's a sink that's going to sit up on top. So by the time we've got the sink, it's going to be about 90 centimetres. And the brackets, this clips onto some brackets which sit in there. So I've marked out the position of the brackets. I've just got to get the level and get a level line through. And then we can screw these on like that and hang that onto them. As we're drilling in tile, I need to use a diamond drill bit. Can you see them glistening in the new lights? Basically that will cut through. If you use a hammer drill, it just crack the tiles. You can get these at any sort of DIY shop. They're not cheap, that's probably like £15, but it's well worth it because it does the job excellently. So when you start drilling with these, you've got to be very careful. Try and start at an angle and then sort of lift it in. Otherwise it'll just, if you just go like that, it'll just go everywhere. It still can, but come to see what's happening. Mm-hmm. Good girl. Now that we'll screw in like that, and you've got a bit of adjustment as well either side. Right, let's do the other side. So now we've got our two verticals. I can put them brackets, and when I screw through, I'm screwing into here. Going to fix them like that, top and bottom, so it's going to be like a solid frame. I think we are there. If you ever get a tip for your screw gun, always try and get a magnetic one, because you can just put the screw on like that and it will just hold, and then you can whoop. If that's not magnetic, as soon as you let go it's going to drop off. Makes life so much easier. They're going to try and lift that onto there. That was easy. And then with it came this really nice sort of resin stone worktop, which sits on there. What do you think about that? It's going to have a sink on top. Don's bought an amazing sink. Well, I think it is. Don? Right, have a butcher's at this. It's like the golden chalice.
Get it out. It's coming.
What do you reckon? You know us, we were never going to buy a white one, was we? Right, Dawn can do the honours. Place it provisionally. I think it looks amazing. And you know the best bit? Was the price. How much was it, Dawn?
£52.
That's a bargain.
Yeah, it looks much more expensive than that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Solid, thick, 20 odd mil thick glass. And we promise we're not going to break this. And we're going to have the tap coming out the wall. But obviously in the middle of the sink. And the controller thing next to it. What do you reckon, people? I think it's going to look wicked. Don, what do you think?
Yeah, love it.
The waste coming out the back of the sink, if you can see that there, will actually go above that little curvy bit there. So I need to make the hole in there as low as possible. Right, what you couldn't see is that that waste will sit about there. As you can see, you can still open and close the drawer because it's got a cutout on it. So I need to make the hole in the middle as low as possible. Then we're going to go through the back of the wall, down and under. I can see under there that the waste's going to clear that, so we're all good there. Remember when we done our tiling? There's the centre line. And that runs right in line with our taps. Right, let's see if that fits through there from the back. Overnight, I have bonded the sink down, bonded the worktop down. So this is all permanently fixed, the waste in. So what we need to do now is plumb the waste in, so it's going to go through the trap underneath, through the wall, down, under the floor and join into the one from the shower. This is solvent weld pipe. You can get pushed through it with like rubber collars and stuff, similar to what was on that trap. But when you're running a load of pipe work, I think it's better to glue it because the solvent actually sort of melts the pipes together. Our waste from the sink is coming along here, and I've got a 45 and another 45 that's going to come out of there, and we're going to join into the shower waste. Cool. Perfect. We are in. Next up is the tap and controller. So that will sit there. Hopefully it will fit though, which is the most important. Yes, perfect. So that's how the back looks. Follow me this way. And there we've got the controls, and that's for the tap. We're all connected up. It's time to test out the taps and the waste and the plumbing. So let's just go for it. One more job ticked off the list. That leaves wallpapering, toilet install with a little unit, and flooring. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Right, let's get some size on the wall, which is basically watered down wallpaper paste. We're going to paint that on the wall and let that go off, so that when you put the actual wallpaper paste on to stick the paper to, the wall doesn't just suck it all in and there's nothing for the wallpaper to stick to. Right, let's get on with it. You're just taking off your paint off. No, it's plenty. That's all right. So I think I'm just going to a lot. No, I guess. It's as easy as that. Right, first job. Get some paste on the wall. The wallpaper we're using is paste the wall wallpaper, as opposed to the normal, probably old style now, where you put the paste on the wallpaper and you fold it and all that malarkey. I'm just going to pull it up like this. Just right on the top. There we go. Right, we've got around this window. It's all gone really well. Bigger one still to go, but it's all good so far. Let me know if you like the wallpaper. And we've ordered like a sort of waterproofer spray, decorator's varnish I think it's called, which is clear, which is like a flat mat, and you can spray it on or paint it on or roller it on, whatever you want to do, and it waterproofs the wallpaper. Good. And as quick as that, only several hours later, wallpapering's done. What do you reckon? I think it goes nice, especially with the colour of the tiles. Tomorrow morning, remove this monstrosity. All the screws are undone. We need to lift this away. possible. That was going straight into the drain. Let's get it out of me as quick as we can. A lovely new one. Right, just picked up a pan connector, so that's going to go in the back. Hopefully, there's enough distance. Well, yeah, there definitely is, to go into the outlet in the floor. This is the new toilet cistern. It's way slimmer, uses a lot less water. And that's going to be fixed above there. And we should, fingers crossed, be able to put that on there, like that. So this is the feed that used to go up, coming into here now. So I've had to shoot out, pick up a compression elbow. There's not really much copper pipe there to play with. So I'm just going to connect that elbow back into that. Cut me a bit of pipe. Same as always, just loosen that off. Stick the nut over and the olive. Tightening right up. And that's just a push fit. So we're on. Moment of truth. Everybody. Let's turn on the water. As long as I don't push that, which is the flush button, which means everything pours out the bottom, we should be good. Perfect. It stopped in time. I'll stick one. Out there. So this is the flush pipe. Tighten him right up, bring it in line with that. I've cut this end panel, as you can see it's got a cutout on it, so that I can lean in and use that lever to turn the water off still, if there's an emergency. Sitting in lovely. So I've cut out for the waste as well. And we're going to come in like that. That's so that the waste can fit right back and allow for the pan to push right back against the unit. That's us cut, and now we can hopefully connect the toilet. Right, the waste's on, that's the main bit, because if that leaks, you're going to know about it. double check it. And then this needs to push it in that hole, as they say. Right, that is in. Let's see if we've got any leaks. It's quite a quick flush compared to the old one. Let's check everything. Dry as a bone. I've had some paint mixed up. It's supposed to be one of those colour match ones. Hopefully it's going to dry darker than what it is, isn't it? Try. Now that's gone, we've got more of a clear floor that we can work with. Before we put the actual flooring down, I'm going to put 5mm thick underlay. Underlay. And what we do is stagger the joints so they're not all in the same sort of way, if you know what I mean. So just laying these, staggering the joints. What you can do when you get to the wall, you can just lap over the next one and just follow it. Take that bit away, swap them over. And we're in. Now we've got all our insulation underlay in place, we can start laying the planks. This one I'm going to be using, it's the same as we've got throughout the rest of the house. Quick Step, you can get it at B&Q if you're in the UK. And most importantly, if you look there, second one in, it says waterproof. 15-year guarantee and a lifetime guarantee for domestic use. Right, let's get this first plank going. Just come in at an angle, slide it to where you want it. I know you're supposed to leave like a 20mm gap and put a bead around, but it looks terrible. So I've never done that. I'm just going to put a mastic joint around it. We're going to carry on like that all the way across the floor. This is the last board of the last pack, and if this is wrong, it's £40 for a new pack. Result. Doesn't see it. It's obviously less to making more caches. So while we're waiting for the filler to dry, I need to rub that down, give that another coat, fix the button, done. We've bought a mirror. Well, I say we, Dawn has bought a mirror. And it's not just any old mirror. Apparently it's Bluetooth. It's got a light, and it also, you can play music on it. Let's get that first one in. Right, got these expanding raw plugs. As you tighten it, that goes like that and grips the back of the plaster. So you just push them in. And then tighten away.
Right, switch it on then. Wow.
One of the last few jobs is sealing around the edges of this flooring, especially where this bath is. We've ordered something which is hopefully the same colour. Perfect colour. So I'm just going to put some blobs here, there and everywhere. Don't go too near the edge because you don't want it splodging out the front. So I'm just going to press that into place. Where we want to sit, which is about there. We are down to the last job, and that is putting the seat on. I do believe we are done.
Happy New Year! And here is our Happy New Bathroom.
What does everyone make of this? We've got beautiful wallpaper that I think matches lovely, and a nice dark screen. Amazing sink, taps, and beautiful Bluetooth mirror that plays music. All chosen by Dawn, obviously.
And lots more plants.
Yeah.
Good excuse for more plants.
The unit's looking good. So yeah.
You've done an amazing job.
We're both really happy with it. It's taken ages, but it looks way better, obviously, than what we had to begin with.
Worth the wait.
Yeah. So that's it from us this week. But we've got loads more projects in this house to go because the whole place is 1970s. So we'll see you in the next video.